how to attract your dream clients. So attracting your dream clients, you might suspect, is just some type of like common now marketing ploy that lacks actual meaning. What is a dream client, Victor? Well, I'll tell you. They are real, and I'll explain what they are. So a dream client is someone who digs your style, your vibe, your personality. They already like you. They happen to like you. So not everyone's going to like you. So it depends on just, your energy. Some people's energy rubs some folks the wrong way. I know I do a lot, especially being in the spiritual niche. When I first came on the scene, I had like tattoos. I had this like cool, like almost like this like Jersey Shore hair going on. And some people are like, that ain't no spiritual teacher. I don't like him. But other people are like, hey, I like to lift weights. I like tattoos. I like his sort of like, like almost like crass, sometimes blunt style. So the point is, there are people that genuinely like you. And I don't care how different you think you are, when you start to put yourself online, you're putting your energy out there, and there's billions of people. I don't care, again, who you are, where you're from, what you're into, there will be people that just love you, that just resonate with you. And they're the most fun to work with and the easiest to work with. And they need no convincing. It's funny, the other day I was running a coaching session, and one of the clients, she just got her QHHT certification. And there's kind of a stringent requirement, come to find. Once you once you pass the test, you have to do like 25 free sessions before you're technically certified. And she's like, Vic, I've done like 20. I'm out of people. And she says, now I'm running out of friends to do this with. And even the ones I present it to, it's hard. She was like, how do I present it to these people who I can kind of anticipate are not going to be really interested in something like that, which, by the way, it's like a spiritual, it's called quantum healing hypnosis technique. Obviously, not everyone's going to be open to that. And she had this real challenge she was working with, because the people she was presenting her services to, she knew probably aren't going to be into it. So she's like, how do I bridge that gap? And I was like, listen, it's a temporary issue. When you go online, there is no gap to bridge. You put yourself out there and you attract the people that are already totally in you and digging your vibes. Share your beliefs, share your perspectives on life. They're gonna think whatever you're doing is super freaking cool. And it's just it's a game changer. That's a dream client, not somebody you have to spend 2 hours convincing the value of what you already know is awesome. A dream client requires, however, that a person already knows who you are, actually likes you, most importantly, trusts you. How do you build trust? There's so many people out there selling stuff online, and unfortunately, there's a lot of them out there give us a bad name. A lot of people are selling, they're kind of scamming people. They're selling bogus products. There's a lot of really excellent salespeople and really excellent marketers that know they can make a killing selling just about anything. So there's very little energy that goes into the actual quality, the actual value they're getting people to buy. And that gives us a bad name. But the point is, when you do what we're going to share in a minute, you not only attract people that are into you, but as you continue to share yourself, your story, your lessons, just the things you're learning as you go through your life is really all it is. You're not going to only have people that know you and kind of like you. You're going to get people, you're going to earn trust. Because they're going to see you time and time and time again. They're going to see you when you're in your flow. They're going to see you when you're having maybe an off day. They're going to hear you sharing your own challenges. They're going to witness you overcoming those challenges. They're going to eventually say, you know what? I trust this person. And when they trust you, selling anything, especially coaching, is going to be a million times easier. So that paints kind of a lovely picture, right? But what do you do? How do you do this? It sounds too good to be true. Well, it's not. It's not. And you, right there, watching this is a case in point. Most of you probably have come because you've already been watching me or maybe Aaron on YouTube or Instagram, or listened to our podcast or read our blogs, or we don't really do blogs, bad example, read our emails maybe over time. So eventually when this opportunity came, it's like you already had that know, like, trust factor, which for most people is required to drop, thousands of dollars, even less, on a coaching program. Whether even money aside, if I'm gonna open up to you, if I'm gonna be like, really, open up myself to you, I need to really, really trust you. Otherwise the whole thing breaks down. But for that to happen, what we did is I wrote these 3 things down, and they just all happen to start with A. So the 3 A's, we'll call this part. 1 is algorithms. What? Here's the thing, my friends. All the different platforms online, whether it's a podcast or YouTube or Instagram, TikTok, etc., they are all run by extremely sophisticated algorithms that literally, and it's almost intrusive, honestly, the way they work, because they can hear what you say, and they have this very sophisticated way of matching you and your topics, and even the words you use, all that, with people that it knows from collecting all this data are going to have a higher chance of digging you. Because the way all of them work, they want to put content in front of you that you're going to like. It's not random. It's depending on who you are. When you type something into Google, depending on your search history, will determine what Google brings to you. It's not this general thing. It curates content for you, as do all of the other platforms. So there are algorithms. But the key here to getting your dream clients is authenticity. If you start putting stuff out there that you think is going to be popular, or you think is going to work, then it sometimes does work and you attract people, but they might not be your people. They might not be people that actually know, like, and trust you. They might not be people that you actually want to work with. So it's simple, but not always easy, and don't worry, you're going to work on it together, is being authentic online. Very important to really be yourself. To really just be yourself. It sounds so simple, but the nice thing is when you are yourself, there's no facade to uphold, which of course takes energy. You need to use your energy in a very wise and strategic way if you want to have a successful coaching business. You can't afford to be holding up this mask that's going to get heavier and heavier and heavier that attracts the wrong people anyways. Okay, so you got to be authentic. And if you do those 2 things correctly, you have an audience. You have an audience of people that know, like, and trust you. And when you have that, you can do even way more than coaching. I remember the first time I ran a retreat was probably 3-4 years into my YouTube career, and it was at my house actually. And I was very surprised. This one person, his name was, I think, Yurik. He came all the way from Prague to Las Vegas to stay on the floor of my house. And he was like, "Vic, do you remember me?" He asked if I remembered him, and I was like, "No, should I?" He said, "Well, I was one of your first 50 YouTube subscribers." He said, "We used to go back and forth via email." So this is somebody that 3 years later, because of all this I'm saying, because of the relationship I cultivated by being my honest self, getting in front of the right people, communication, eventually he spent over $1,000 to fly across the world to come to my retreat. And that's just an example of the power of the know, like, and trust factor. Because one day you're not going to maybe want to take on so many clients. It's cool, you can make a lot of money as a coach, but eventually you might start to wonder, what if I didn't work on Thursdays and Tuesdays? What if I took Tuesday, Thursday, and the weekends off? Well, that would require taking on less clients, but you're going to need money somehow. Well, when you have this audience, there are so many different things you can do, so many different forms of value you can sell, you can share with your audience. And as you'll see, once you begin this process, they will start to pull these services out of you. I'm talking long term. Don't let this hopefully overwhelm you. But over time, you'll eventually be inspired to do things that are kind of new forms of service, and you can do it all. Anytime you have this desire to do something, you'll be able to, because of the relationships you cultivate when you do things right.